That moment happened at 7:34 in the morning on the third floor of Seattle General Hospital when he saw his wife laughing with the one man who'd spent 15 years trying to destroy him. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. Let's rewind. Just a little. It starts at 2:47 a.m. Maddox is in Manhattan, 53rd floor of the Carlyle Tower. Floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking a city that never sleeps. He's in the middle of closing a deal that would make most men's knees buckle, $2.3 billion. Lawyers on one side, investors on the other. Everyone's waiting for his signature. Maddox Steel doesn't do small. He's a billionaire, an alpha wolf shifter, CEO of Steel Industries. An empire built on real estate, tech, and old pack money that goes back generations. He's the kind of man who walks into a room and every head turns. Not because he demands it, but because power like his, it doesn't need to ask for attention. And then his phone buzzes. He glances down, sees his sister's name, Freya. The text makes his blood go cold.
Mom's dying.
Get here now. For words, that's all it takes to shatter him. His mother, Celeste Steele. The woman who raised him after his father died in a pack challenge when Maddox was 12. The woman who taught him to lead with strength, but never cruelty. The woman who looked him in the eyes just last week and said, "Maddox, I don't trust Fiona. Something feels wrong." And he defended his wife, told his mother she was imagining things, told her Fiona loved him, told her to stop worrying. Now, standing in that boardroom with a pen in his hand, guilt crushes his chest like a vice. He doesn't finish the deal. Doesn't sign, doesn't explain, just walks out. Lawyers shouting behind him, investors confused. But Maddox doesn't care, because the only thing that matters is getting to Seattle before it's too late. He calls his pilot, private jet, fueled and ready within 30 minutes. The flight from Manhattan to Seattle is 4 hours. 4 hours that feel like 40 years. Maddox sits in the cabin, hands gripping the leather armrests, so hard his claws, wolf claws, start to push through his fingertips. He forces them back, but his wolf is howling inside him, desperate, frantic, clawing at his ribs, begging to be let out, begging to run, to get to her, to fix this. But he can't fix this, not from 30,000 feet in the air. So he sits, and he remembers his mother's voice, soft but firm. "Maddox, I've raised you to trust your instincts. And my instincts are screaming that Fiona is hiding something." He'd laughed it off, kissed his mother's forehead, told her she'd been watching too many soap operas. But Celeste Steele wasn't the kind of woman who imagined things. She was sharp, observant, a former Luna, an alpha's mate, who'd navigated pack politics for decades. If she said something was wrong, something was wrong. Maddox closes his eyes, jaw clenched, guilt eating him from the inside out. He should have listened. The jet lands at 7:12 a.m. Seattle-Tacoma International Airport. Maddox doesn't even wait for the stairs to fully extend. He jumps down, lands on the tarmac, and runs. His driver's waiting with a black SUV. Engine already running. Maddox climbs in. Doesn't say a word. Just one look, and the driver knows, floor it. They weave through early morning traffic. Maddox is still in his tailored Tom Ford suit. Charcoal gray. Crisp white shirt. No tie. He smells like jet fuel and fear and something wild. The scent every wolf gives off when they're on the edge of losing control. His phone buzzes. Freya again. "Where are you?" He texts back with shaking hands. 10 minutes out. Her response is immediate. "Hurry." That one word makes his stomach drop. The SUV screeches to a stop outside Seattle General Hospital. Maddox doesn't wait for the driver. He's out the door, running through the automatic entrance, past the reception desk, past security, past the people in the waiting room who stare because a man like Maddox Steele, 6'4", built like he was carved from stone, eyes flashing gold, doesn't go unnoticed. He hits the stairs.
Takes them 3 at a time.
His wolf is so close to the surface now that his vision sharpens, his hearing amplifies. He can hear every heartbeat in the building, every breath, Every whispered prayer in the ICU. Floor 6. Room 604. That's where his mother is. But Maddox doesn't make it to floor 6. Because as he rounds the corner on floor 3, near the hospital cafe, the one with the big windows and the smell of burnt coffee and disinfectant, he sees something that stops him cold. Fiona,
His wife.
she's sitting in a corner booth, wearing jeans and a cream-colored sweater, hair pulled back in a ponytail. No makeup. She looks tired, but she's not crying. She's not pacing. She's not on the phone with family or friends or anyone who might offer comfort. She's laughing. Full-body laughter. The kind that makes her shoulders shake. The kind that lights up her whole face. And sitting across from her, leaning in close, whispering something that makes her giggle like a teenager. Dane Corrigan, Maddox's half-brother. The man who was exiled from the Steel Pack 15 years ago after he tried to orchestrate a hostile takeover of the family's billion-dollar empire. The man who challenged Maddox's father for alpha status and lost. The man who swore revenge on the Steel bloodline. The rogue wolf who spent the last decade and a half building his own pack of outcasts, criminals, and wolves with nothing to lose. And Fiona, Maddox's wife, the woman he married 3 years ago, the woman he trusted with everything, has her hand on Dane's wrist. Her fingers
On his skin.
She's leaning forward.
Eyes bright. Sparkling.
Dane says something.
Low.
Intimate. She giggles again. And Maddox feels something inside him shatter. Not his heart. That would be too simple.
No.
It's deeper than that. It's trust. It's belief. It's the foundation of everything he thought was real. His wolf roars. The sound doesn't leave his throat, but it echoes through every cell in his body. His claws push through his fingertips. His eyes flash gold, bright, predatory, dangerous. People nearby glance over, sensing something wrong, something wild. But they don't know what they're looking at. They don't know that Maddox Steel is 2 seconds away from shifting in the middle of a hospital corridor and ripping apart everything in his path. He doesn't move. He just watches. Fiona checks her phone, smiles at something on the screen, shows it to Dane. They both laugh. And 3 floors above them, Maddox's mother is dying. Alone. The woman who warned him. The woman who knew. His mother was right. Maddox's hands curl into fists. His breathing slows. Controlled.
Deadly.
He doesn't storm over. Not yet. Because Maddox Steel didn't build a billion-dollar empire by acting on impulse. He's a strategist. A hunter. And right now, he's watching his prey. Fiona leans back in her seat. Stretches. Yawns. Like she's been here all night, and she's exhausted. But she's not exhausted. She's comfortable. And that's what makes Maddox's blood turn to ice. Because in this moment, standing in a hospital corridor while his mother fights for her life, Maddox realizes something that breaks him more than any betrayal ever could. Fiona wasn't here for Celeste. She was here for Dane. If you've ever felt that gut punch moment when you realize someone you loved was playing you the whole time, drop a comment and tell me where you're watching from. Because what Maddox does next, it changes everything. Chapter 2. Maddox doesn't move. Not at first. Every instinct in his body, every primal, wolfish urge, is screaming at him to charge across that cafe, grab Dane by the throat, and end this right here, right now. His claws are already pushing through his fingertips. His canines are lengthening. His wolf is howling so loud inside his skull that he can barely hear the beeping monitors, the shuffle of nurses' shoes, the hum of fluorescent lights overhead. But Maddox Steel didn't build a $2 billion empire by giving in to impulse. He didn't become alpha of one of the most powerful packs in North America by losing control. So he stands there, watching, calculating. And what he sees makes his stomach twist into knots. Fiona leans back at her seat, stretching her arms above her head like she's just waking up from a long nap. She yawns, rubs her eyes. Then she picks up her phone, scrolls through something, probably social media, probably Instagram, and smiles at whatever she sees. She shows the screen to Dane. He glances at it and laughs. That low, arrogant chuckle that Maddox has hated since they were kids. The kind of laugh that says, I know something you don't. Fiona signals the barista. Orders another latte.
Caramel.
Extra foam. Maddox knows because he's heard her order it 1,000 times. And meanwhile, 3 floors above them, his mother is dying. Celestial. The woman who gave up everything to raise him. The woman who held the pack together after his father was killed. The woman who warned him about Fiona just last week, and he didn't listen. Maddox's jaw clenches so hard he hears his teeth crack. Literally crack. A sharp pop in the back of his mouth. He tastes blood. Doesn't care. He takes a breath. Forces his claws back in. Forces his wolf down.
Not yet.
Not here. Then he walks.
Calm.
Controlled. Every step deliberate. Across the cafe floor. Past the other tables. Past the couple sharing a muffin. Past the old man reading a newspaper.
Past the teenager on her laptop.
Straight to Fiona. Fiona. Her head snaps up. And the look on her face? That's what confirms everything.
Guilt.
Pure, undiluted guilt. Her eyes go wide. Her mouth opens. Then closes. Her face drains of color so fast, she looks like she might faint. She drops her phone. It clatters onto the table. M. Maddox. She stammers, trying to smile, trying to pull herself together. Oh my God, you're here? I didn't know. When did you land? I thought. Why aren't you with my mother? The question cuts through the air like a blade. Silence. Fiona blinks. Opens her mouth. Closes it again. Looks at Dane. Then back at Maddox. I was just.
Why aren't you with my
mother? Each word is slow. Measured.
Deadly.
Dane leans back in his chair, arms crossed over his chest. Smirking like this is the most entertaining thing he's seen all week. Maddox. His voice is smooth.
Casual.
Dripping with condescension. Brother. Long time no see. Maddox doesn't even look at him. Don't call me that.
What?
Brother? Dane grins. But we are brothers. Half-brothers, technically. Same father. Different mothers. You remember, don't you? I said don't call me that. Dane shrugs. Touchy. As always. Maddox's eyes flicker gold. Just for a second. But Dane sees it. And his grin widens. Fiona jumps in, her voice shaking. I was just grabbing coffee, baby. I swear. I've been here all night. I just needed a break. Just 5 minutes. I was going to go back upstairs, I promise. With him. Maddox's gaze shifts to her. And the look in his eyes, cold, sharp, predatory, makes her shrink back in her seat. It's not what it looks like, she says quickly. I ran into him in the lobby. We were just talking. That's all. Just talking. Just talking. Yes. With Dane. Yes. My half-brother. The man who tried to take my father's pack. The man who was exiled. The man who swore he'd destroy our family. Fiona swallows hard. I didn't know who he was at first. Bullshit. The word comes out low. Dangerous. Dane laughs. Actually laughs. Oh, come on, Maddox. Relax. Fiona and I were just catching up. Old friends. You know how it is. Maddox finally looks at him. Really looks at him. Dane Corrigan. 36.
Tall. Lean.
Dark hair slicked back. Blue eyes that look almost gray in certain light. Wearing a black leather jacket over a white t-shirt.
Jeans. Boots.
He looks like he just walked off a movie set. The bad boy. The rogue. The guy every woman thinks she can fix. Except Dane Corrigan can't be fixed. Because he's rotten to the core. Old friends. Maddox's voice is dangerously quiet now.
Yeah.
Dane nods. We met a while back. Charity event. Some gala thing in Manhattan. Boring as hell, but the champagne was good. Fiona and I got to talking. Hit it off. Stayed in touch. Maddox turns to Fiona. How do you know Dane? She hesitates. We met at a charity event. Months ago. It's nothing. Months ago. Yes. Which event? I don't remember. Which event, Fiona? She swallows. The Children's Hospital fundraiser. In September. September. Yes. That was 4 months ago. Yes. Did you tell me about this? Silence. Fiona, did you tell me you met Dane? No, she whispers. Why not? Because. Her voice cracks. Because I knew you'd be upset. I'd be upset? Maddox's voice rises slightly. Not a shout, but enough to make people at nearby tables glance over. My wife meets my exiled half-brother, who's spent 15 years trying to destroy my family, and she doesn't tell me? And I'm supposed to just, what? Be okay with that. I didn't think it mattered. You didn't think it mattered. It was just a conversation, Maddox. One conversation. I didn't think. But you stayed in touch. Her face goes pale again. Dane said you stayed in touch. Is that true? She looks at Dane. He's still smirking. Enjoying this. Answer me, Fiona. We texted a few times. That's all. Just casual. Just casual. Yes. For 4 months. It wasn't like that. Then what was it like? She doesn't answer. Maddox feels his control slipping. His wolf is clawing at his insides, desperate to break free, desperate to make someone pay for this betrayal. His hands are shaking. His vision is starting to blur at the edges, going red. Dane stands up. Slowly. Deliberately. He's shorter than Maddox, most men are, but he's got that cocky, fearless energy that comes from being a rogue wolf. No pack. No rules. Nothing to lose. He steps closer. Gets right in Maddox's face. Relax, Steele. You're overreacting. Like you always do. Get out of my face. Or what? You'll hit me? In a hospital? In front of all these people? Dane gestures around the cafe. Come on, man. You're smarter than that. You're the alpha. The CEO. The golden boy. You've got a reputation to protect. So maybe take it down a notch. Maybe because she knew you'd overreact, Dane continues, his voice dripping with mockery. Like you're doing now. And that's when Maddox snaps. His fist connects with Dane's jaw before anyone even sees him move. The sound is sickening. A crack. A crunch. Bone on bone. Dane flies backward, crashes into the table behind him. Coffee cups shatter. Plates hit the floor. Ceramic explodes everywhere. People scream. Jump out of their seats. Fiona screams too. Maddox, stop. But Maddox doesn't stop. He's on Dane in a heartbeat. Grabs him by the collar. Yanks him up. Dane's nose is bleeding. His lip is split. But he's still smiling. There it is, Dane says, spitting blood. There's the real Maddox Steele. The animal. The monster. Maddox pulls back his fist again. Sir. Sir, stop. Security rushes in. 2 guards. Big guys. They grab Maddox's arms. Try to pull him back. He could throw them off. Easily. His wolf strength is 10 times theirs. But he doesn't. Because Fiona is standing there, tears streaming down her face, looking at him like he's a stranger. And something in that look, fear, maybe, or disgust, makes him let go. Dane drops to the floor. Wipes blood from his mouth. Still grinning. You'll regret that, Dane says quietly. You'll regret everything. Maddox doesn't respond. He just turns. And walks away. Through the cafe. Through the hallway. Up the stairs. To the ICU. To his mother. Behind him, he can hear Fiona calling his name. Begging him to stop. To listen. To let her explain. But Maddox doesn't stop. Because right now, the only person in this world who matters, who has ever truly mattered, is lying in a hospital bed 3 floors up. And she's dying. Alone. Chapter 3. Room 604. The door is heavy. Cold metal. Maddox pushes it open with shaking hands. And there she is. Celeste Steele. His mother. Lying in a hospital bed that looks too big for her frail body. Tubes snake from her arms. Monitors beep in steady rhythm. An oxygen mask covers her nose and mouth. Her skin is pale, too pale, like all the color has been drained out of her. Her hair, once thick and dark, now streaked with silver, is spread across the pillow. But her eyes,
God, her eyes.
still sharp, still fierce, still the eyes of a Luna who ruled a pack for 30 years. She sees him. And despite everything, despite the tubes, the machines, the pain, she smiles. Maddox. Her voice is weak. Barely a whisper, but it's firm, strong. The voice of a woman who's fought her whole life and isn't done fighting yet. He rushes to her side, drops to his knees beside the bed, grabs her hand. It's cold, too cold. He wraps both of his hands around hers, trying to warm her, trying to pour his strength into her fragile body. Mom. His voice cracks. I'm here. I'm so sorry I wasn't here sooner. I came as fast as I could. Stop. She squeezes his hand, weak but deliberate. Listen to me. We don't have much time. Don't say that. Maddox. Her eyes lock onto his. We both know what's happening. Don't waste what little time we have left pretending otherwise. He wants to argue, wants to tell her she's going to be fine, that the doctors will fix this, that she'll walk out of here and live another 20 years. But the words die in his throat, because deep down he knows. His wolf knows. She's fading, slipping away, and there's nothing he can do to stop it. Fiona is not who you think she is. The words hit him like a punch to the gut. Maddox freezes.
What?
I saw her, Celeste says, her voice stronger now, fueled by urgency. Downstairs. With Dane. His jaw tightens. I saw her too. Celeste's eyes water. Tears spill down her cheeks. I knew it. I knew something was wrong. Mom, what are you talking about? She's been meeting him for months, Maddox. Months. Yes. Celeste's grip on his hand tightens. I hired a private investigator. Maddox's entire body goes rigid. You did what? I had to. Her voice is steady now. No apologies. No regret. You wouldn't listen to me. Every time I tried to tell you something was off, you defended her. You told me I was being paranoid. That I didn't like her because she wasn't pack-born.
But it wasn't about that, Maddox.
It was never about that. Mom. I knew. A mother always knows. She lets go of his hand, reaches under her pillow, pulls out a manila envelope.
Thick. Sealed.
She holds it out to him. Photos. Bank transfers. Text messages. It's all in here. Maddox stares at the envelope. Like it's a bomb about to go off. He doesn't want to take it, doesn't want to open it. Because once he does, once he sees what's inside, there's no going back. No denying it. No pretending everything is fine. But he takes it. His hands shake as he tears open the seal, pulls out the contents, and his blood turns to ice. Photos. Dozens of them. Fiona and Dane. At a restaurant in downtown Seattle. Fiona laughing, leaning across the table, her hand on his. Another photo. Different restaurant. Manhattan this time. Fiona wearing a red dress Maddox bought her for their anniversary. Sitting in a candlelit booth. With Dane. Another photo. A hotel. The Fairmont in Vancouver. Fiona walking into the lobby. Dane right behind her. His hand on the small of her back. The dates. 8 months ago. 7 months. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1 month ago. Maddox's vision blurs. His wolf is howling, clawing, tearing him apart from the inside. He flips through the photos faster. Each one worse than the last. Each one a knife twisting deeper into his chest. Then he sees the bank transfers. Printed statements. Fiona's personal account. Transfers to an offshore account in the Cayman Islands. Numbers that make his stomach turn. $200,000. 300,000. 500,000. Again. Again. Total, $2.7 million. Money she got from him. Money he gave her freely. Money he never questioned because he trusted her. Because he loved her. And she sent it to Dane. His hands are shaking so hard now he can barely hold the papers. He sets them down on the bed, pulls out the last section. Text messages. Printed transcripts.
Dates. Times.
Numbers redacted for privacy, but the words destroy him. Fiona. He still doesn't suspect anything.
Dane, good.
Keep him distracted. Once his mother's gone, we move on the company. Fiona. What if he finds out? Dane, he won't. He's too in love with you to see the truth. Maddox's breath catches in his throat.
He reads it again.
Once his mother's gone, we move on the company. They were waiting for Celeste to die, waiting for Maddox to be vulnerable, broken, alone, and then they'd strike. His wolf roars. Not inside his head this time. Out loud. A guttural, animalistic sound that makes the monitors beep louder, makes the fluorescent lights flicker, makes the walls themselves seem to tremble. Celeste's hand finds his again. She married you for access, Maddox. Dane's been planning this for years. He wants Steel Industries.
The pack.
Everything. And Fiona? She's his insider. His weapon. Why didn't you tell me sooner?
His voice is raw.
Broken. I tried. Tears streamed down her face. I tried so many times, but you wouldn't listen. You were so in love with her. So blind. And I couldn't just throw accusations at you without proof. So I hired the investigator. I waited. I gathered evidence. And I was going to show you everything last week. But then... She gestures weakly at the hospital room. This happened. Maddox drops his head. Tears fall onto the white hospital sheets. I'm sorry, Mom.
I'm so sorry.
You were right. About everything. And I didn't listen. I didn't protect you. I didn't. Stop. Her voice is firm again. You did nothing wrong. You loved someone. You trusted someone. That's not a weakness, Maddox. That's what makes you a good man. A good alpha. But she used me.
Yes, she did.
And now you know. So, what are you going to do about it? He looks up at her. His eyes are red. His face is wet with tears. But there's something else there now. Something darker.
Colder. Rage.
Pure, unfiltered rage. Celeste sees it. And she nods.
Good. Use that.
But don't let it consume you. Don't become like Dane. Don't let him turn you into a monster. He took everything from me.
No.
Celeste's grip tightens. He took nothing. Because everything you have, your strength, your pack, your empire, you built that yourself. He didn't give it to you. And he can't take it from you. Not unless you let him. Maddox swallows hard.
Nods.
Protect the pack, Celeste whispers. Her voice is fading now. Getting weaker. Protect the family. Don't let them win. I won't. Promise me. I promise. She smiles. A soft, peaceful smile. You're going to be a great alpha, Maddox. Greater than your father. Greater than anyone. Mom, don't. I love you. I love you too. Her eyes close.
Slowly. Gently.
Her hand goes limp in his. The monitor beeps.
Once. Twice.
Then it flatlines. A long, steady tone that cuts through the air like a scream.
No.
Maddox's voice is barely a whisper. No, no, no. A nurse rushes in. Sir, you need to step outside. Get away from her. Sir, we need to. I said get away from her. His eyes flash gold. His wolf surges forward. The nurse stumbles back, fear written across her face. Another nurse appears. Then a doctor. They're talking, saying something about protocols, about pronouncing time of death, about giving him space. But Maddox doesn't hear them. He's staring at his mother's face. Peaceful now. No more pain. No more struggle. Just gone. And in that moment, something inside Maddox steel breaks. Not just his heart. His soul. He leans forward. Presses his forehead against his mother's hand.
And he cries.
Deep, gut-wrenching sobs that shake his entire body. The kind of crying that comes from a place so deep, so primal, that it feels like it's tearing him apart from the inside out. He cries for his mother, for the years they'll never have, for the conversations they'll never finish, for the grandchildren she'll never meet. He cries for himself, for the man he was an hour ago, the man who believed in love, in trust, in loyalty. That man is gone now, and in his place, something darker, something colder, something that will burn the world down to get revenge. If you've ever lost someone and realized you didn't protect them the way you should have, you know this pain. Comment below, what's the one thing you wish you'd said to someone before it was too late? And if you're not subscribed yet, do it now. Because Maddox's revenge? It's about to get brutal. Chapter 4. 3 days later. Manhattan. The Steele family estate sits on 5 acres of pristine land in the heart of Westchester County. Old money. Old power. The kind of place where presidents have stayed, where deals worth billions have been made over cigars and whiskey, where pack law is still honored above human law. Today, it's draped in black. 200 guests. All wolves. Alphas from neighboring packs. Betas. Gammas. Council members. Business partners. Family.
Friends.
Everyone who mattered in Celeste Steele's world has come to pay their respects. The funeral itself was private. Just immediate family. Maddox. Freya. A handful of elders. They stood in the family cemetery as Celeste's casket was lowered into the ground next to her mate, Maddox's father, who died 22 years ago in a pack challenge. Maddox didn't cry. Not this time. He stood there in his black suit, jaw tight, eyes cold, while Freya sobbed beside him. He held her hand, let her lean on him. But inside, he felt nothing. No grief, no pain, just a hollow, empty void where his heart used to be. Now, at the reception, the estate is filled with the low murmur of conversation. People wearing black,
Drinking wine.
eating hors d'oeuvres, offering condolences, sharing memories of Celeste. And Fiona? She plays the grieving daughter-in-law perfectly. Black dress. Elegant. Tasteful. Long sleeves.
High neckline.
Her hair pulled back in a sleek bun. Minimal makeup. Just enough to make her look beautiful, but not showy. Respectful. She stands beside Maddox, her hand resting lightly on his arm. Every few minutes, someone approaches to offer their sympathies, and she nods graciously, murmurs thank yous, dabs at her eyes with a tissue. She's good. Really good. If Maddox didn't know the truth, he'd believe her too. But he does know. And every time she touches him, his wolf snarls. Every time she leans into him, pretending to need his strength, his claws threaten to break through his skin. Every time she whispers, "Are you okay, baby?" his jaw clenches so hard he tastes blood. But he doesn't react.
Not yet.
Because Maddox Steele is playing a different game now. A longer game. A smarter game. He's waiting. Freya watches him from across the room. She knows something's wrong. She's his sister. She can read him better than anyone. But every time she tries to pull him aside, he waves her off. Says he's fine. Says he just needs time. She doesn't believe him. But she doesn't push. The reception drags on. People talk. Laugh quietly. Share stories. Maddox stands there like a statue, shaking hands, accepting condolences, nodding at the right moments. And then the door opens. Everyone turns. And there he is. Dane Corrigan. Uninvited. Unwelcome. Walking into the Steele estate like he owns the place. He's wearing a charcoal gray suit. Perfectly tailored. White shirt.
No tie.
Hair slicked back. That same arrogant smirk plastered across his face. The room goes silent. Every wolf in the room can feel it. The shift in energy. The tension. The wrongness of his presence. Freya is the first to move. She cuts through the crowd, plants herself directly in front of Dane, arms crossed. "You're not welcome here." Dane's smirk widens. "Hello, Freya. You look lovely. Black suits you. Get out." "I'm family. You were exiled." Still blood. He gestures around the room. And this is a family event, isn't it? Mourning the loss of dear Aunt Celeste. Freya's eyes flash gold. Her wolf is right at the surface. Don't you dare say her name. Why not? She was my stepmother. Kind of.
Technically.
For a few years, anyway. You have 5 seconds to leave before I throw you out myself. Dane laughs. You? Throw me out? Little Freya Steele? The baby of the family? Please. Freya's claws extend. Her canines lengthen. And then Maddox's voice cuts through the tension like a blade. Let him in. Everyone turns. Stares. Freya spins around. What? Maddox is standing at the far end of the room.
Calm.
Collected. His hands in his pockets. His face unreadable.
Let
Him.
in.
Maddox. Are you out of your mind? I know who he is. Then why? Because I want to talk to him. The room is so quiet you could hear a pin drop. Dane's grin is so wide now it looks painful.
See?
Maddox gets it. Always the reasonable one. Always the strategist. Freya looks at her brother like he's lost his mind. Maddox. It's fine, Freya. Let him in. She steps aside. Reluctantly. Her hands still clenched into fists. Dane walks deeper into the room. Eyes him.
Nods.
Thank you. Maddox doesn't respond. He just turns and walks toward the study. Follow me. Dane does. And as they disappear down the hallway, Fiona, standing near the window, holding a glass of wine, goes pale. Her hands start to shake. She sets the glass down before she drops it. She knows. Something's happening. Something bad. In the study. The door closes behind them with a heavy click. The study is all dark wood and leather. Floor-to-ceiling bookshelves. A massive oak desk. A stone fireplace. The smell of old paper and expensive whiskey. Maddox walks to the bar. Pours 2 glasses. Hands one to Dane. Dane takes it. Raises it in a mock toast. To family. Maddox doesn't drink. He just stands there. Watching. Waiting. Dane takes a sip. Savors it.
Damn.
You always did have good taste. This is what? 50-year-old McCallan. You think you're smart, don't you? The question hangs in the air. Dane's smirk fades. Just a little. What? You heard me. I think I'm smart. I don't think, Maddox. I know. Do you?
Yeah.
I do. Dane sets down his glass. Leans against the desk. I've been running circles around you for months. Years, actually. And you had no idea. I know about Fiona. Silence. Dane's face doesn't change, but something flickers in his eyes. Just for a second. Surprise? Fear? It's gone before Maddox can identify it. What about her? Everything. Maddox's voice is calm.
Deadly.
I know about the meetings, the dinners, the hotels, Vancouver, Seattle, Manhattan. Dane's jaw tightens. I know about the money, the offshore accounts. $2.7 million transferred from Fiona's account to yours. You can't prove. I can prove everything. Maddox pulls out his phone, taps the screen. A voice recording starts playing. Fiona's voice.
Clear.
Unmistakable. Once he signs the new will, we're set. His mother's gone. He's vulnerable. We strike in 6 months. Dane's face goes hard. Where did you get that? I bugged her phone. 2 days ago, right after my mother died. You. I also have the photos. The bank statements. The text messages. 8 months worth. Every meeting. Every lie. Every betrayal. Maddox steps closer. I know about the plan to take Steel Industries. I know you've been building a rogue pack. I know everything, Dane. Dane's hands curl into fists. You can't prove anything. Can't I? Maddox's eyes flash gold. I've already sent copies to my lawyers. To the Pack Council. To the FBI's Financial Crimes Unit. You're done. You wouldn't. I already did. Dane's face twists with rage. You bastard. You tried to take my company. My family. My wife. She was never yours, Maddox. Dane's voice is low, venomous. She was always mine. From the beginning. I found her. I recruited her. I trained her. She played you like a goddamn fiddle, and you fell for every second of it. Maddox's wolf surges forward. His eyes blaze gold. His claws extend. But he doesn't attack. Not yet. Then you can have her. He walks to the door. Opens it. And there she is. Fiona. Standing in the hallway. Right outside the study. She'd been listening. Her face is white. Tears streaming down her cheeks. Maddox. Don't. Let me explain. There's nothing to explain. He pulls an envelope from his jacket pocket. Tosses it at her feet. Divorce papers. Sign them.
Now.
Fiona stares at the envelope like it's a snake. You can't. Sign them. Or I release everything to the press. The photos. The recordings. The financial records. I'll destroy you. Both of you. You'll lose everything. Your reputation. Your freedom. Everything. Maddox, please. You have two choices. Sign the papers and walk away quietly. Or refuse and spend the next decade in court. And possibly prison. Her hands shake as she bends down.
Picks up the envelope.
Opens it. Dane appears in the doorway behind Maddox. She doesn't have to sign anything. Yes, she does. Unless she wants the FBI investigating her for wire fraud, conspiracy, and embezzlement. Fiona's face crumples. She pulls out a pen. Her hand is shaking so hard, she can barely hold it.
But she signs.
One page. Then another. Then another. When she's done, she holds the papers out to Maddox. He takes them without a word. I'm sorry, she whispers. No, you're not. But you will be. He turns to Dane. Get out. Both of you. If I see either of you again, I won't be this civilized. Dane's eyes narrow. You think you won? Maddox doesn't answer. You didn't. Get out. There's something you don't know, Maddox. I said get out. Fiona's pregnant. The world stops. Everything, the air, the sound, the beating of his heart, freezes. Maddox turns slowly. What? Dane's smirk returns. You heard me. She's pregnant. 11 weeks. And the baby. He steps closer. Leans in. Whispers. It's mine. Maddox's vision goes red. His wolf howls. His claws extend fully. His canines drop. His eyes blaze molten gold. Fiona backs away, sobbing. Maddox, please. But he's not looking at her. He's looking at Dane. And the rage, the pure, unfiltered, primal rage, is so overwhelming that the walls themselves seem to tremble. Dane doesn't move. Doesn't flinch. He just stands there.
Smirking.
That's right, brother. She's carrying my child. And there's nothing you can do about it. Maddox's hands are shaking. His entire body is vibrating with barely contained fury. Freya appears at the end of the hallway. Sees the scene. Her eyes go wide. Maddox. But before anyone can stop him, Maddox lunges. Chapter 5. Maddox doesn't react. Not outwardly. His body doesn't move. His face doesn't change. His breathing stays steady. To anyone watching, he looks calm, controlled, almost eerily so. But inside? Inside, his wolf is screaming, howling, clawing, tearing at his insides with such ferocity that it takes every ounce of his willpower not to shift right there in the hallway, not to rip Dane's throat out with his bare hands, not to let the beast take over and destroy everything in its path. But Maddox Steele didn't become a billionaire alpha by losing control. So he stands there, stares at Dane, and speaks in a voice so cold it could freeze fire. You're lying. Dane's smirk doesn't falter. Am I? Yes. Really? Dane pulls out his phone.
Slow.
Deliberate. Like he's savoring every second of this. He taps the screen. Turns it around so Maddox can see. A text message. From Fiona. I'm 11 weeks. We need to talk. The timestamp. 3 weeks ago. Maddox's world tilts. The floor beneath him feels unstable, like the ground is shifting, cracking, opening up to swallow him whole. 11 weeks. He does the math in his head.
Fast.
Automatic. 11 weeks ago, he and Fiona were together. They'd taken a long weekend in the Hamptons, a private beach house. Just the two of them.
It was supposed to be romantic.
Reconnecting. She'd been distant for months, and he thought maybe if they got away from the city, away from work, away from everything, they could fix whatever was broken. They'd made love that weekend. Multiple times. She told him she loved him. Whispered it in his ear while they lay tangled in the sheets, the sound of the ocean in the background. And now she's pregnant. But Dane is claiming the baby is his. Maddox's jaw tightens. She was going to tell you it was yours. Trap you.
Lock you in.
Make sure you couldn't walk away even after you found out the truth. But I got to her first. Dane leans in closer. His voice drops to a whisper. She's been mine from the beginning, Maddox. Every kiss. Every touch. Every time she said, I love you, she was thinking of me. Maddox's fists clench, so hard his knuckles crack. Dane grins. Face it, brother. You lost. You lost your mother. You lost your wife. And now you're about to lose everything else.
Get out.
The words come out low.
Deadly.
Dane chuckles. Steps back. Straightens his jacket.
Gladly.
But don't worry. We'll be seeing each other real soon. He walks past Maddox. Past Fiona, who's still standing in the hallway, sobbing. Past Freya, who looks like she wants to murder someone. And then he's gone. The door closes behind him with a soft click. Maddox doesn't move. Doesn't speak.
Just stands there.
Staring at nothing. Fiona takes a shaky step toward him. Maddox, leave. Please just let me. If you don't leave right now, I will call security and have you removed. And I will make sure you never set foot in this house again. She Flynn. Cheese like he slapped her. But she doesn't argue. Just turns and walks away. Her heels clicking softly against the marble floor until the sound fades completely. Freya waits until she's gone. Then she moves to Maddox's side. Touches his arm gently. Maddox. Not now. Talk to me. I said not now. You can't just. Freya. He finally looks at her. And the pain in his eyes, the raw, agonizing pain, makes her breath catch.
Please.
Not now. She nods. Squeezes his arm. I'm here. When you're ready. He watches her leave. Then he walks into the study. Closes the door. Locks it. And for the first time since his mother died, Maddox Steele allows himself to break. He picks up the whiskey glass Dane left on the desk and hurls it across the room. It shatters against the wall. Glass explodes everywhere. He grabs the chair. Throws it. It crashes into the bookshelf. He roars. A sound so primal, so feral, it echoes through the entire estate. And then he collapses into the other chair, buries his face in his hands, and tries to breathe. 48 hours later, Maddox hasn't slept, hasn't eaten, hasn't shifted. He's locked himself in his Manhattan penthouse, blinds drawn, phone on silent, shutting out the world. But he hasn't been idle. He's been working. He calls his lawyer first. Leonard Hastings. The best attorney money can buy. Specializes in corporate law, family law, criminal defense. If there's a legal angle, Leonard will find it. I need you to verify something, Maddox says the moment Leonard answers. What is it? Fiona's pregnant. 11 weeks. I need medical confirmation. Hospital records. Whatever you can get. Maddox, that's protected information. I don't care.
Get it.
Leonard pauses. Are you asking me to break the law? I'm asking you to do your job. She signed a prenup. She gave consent for medical disclosures in the event of separation. Use it. There's a long silence. Then Leonard sighs. I'll see what I can do. Thank you. Next, he calls his private investigator. A woman named Isla Monroe. Former FBI. Cold. Calculating. Ruthless. She's been tracking Fiona and Dane for the past 3 months at Celeste's request. Now she works directly for Maddox. I need everything you can find on a weekend. 3 months ago, Fiona told me she was visiting her sister in Seattle. I need to know if that's true. On it, Isla says. No questions. No hesitation. Just efficiency. Finally, he calls his personal physician, Dr. Naveen Kapoor. Discreet. Loyal. Has been the Steele family doctor for 20 years. I need a paternity test, Maddox says bluntly. For whom? Fiona's unborn child. A pause. Maddox is everything. Can you arrange it or not? I can. But she'll have to consent. She will. How do you know? Because if she doesn't, she gets nothing. 48 hours. That's all it takes. Leonard comes through with the medical records. Fiona is pregnant. 11 weeks. No complications. Healthy fetus. Isla comes through with the travel records. Fiona was in Seattle that weekend. But her sister wasn't. Her sister was in Boston at a medical conference. Hotel reservations confirm it. Isla digs deeper. Finds credit card receipts. Fiona stayed at the Four Seasons in Seattle. Same hotel. Same floor. Same weekend Dane was registered there. Different rooms. But the surveillance footage from the hotel lobby, grainy, but clear enough, shows them entering the elevator together at 11:47 p.m. Shows them exiting on the same floor. Shows Fiona entering Dane's room at 11:52 p.m. She didn't leave until 9:14 a.m. the next morning. Maddox stares at the photos Isla sends him. His hands don't shake. His face doesn't change. But inside, something twists. Something dark and ugly and cold. He demands the paternity test. Fiona refuses at first. It's yours, Maddox. I swear on everything. The baby is yours. Then take the test. I don't have to prove anything to you. Actually, you do. Clause 17 of the prenup. In the event of pregnancy during separation proceedings, paternity must be established before any settlement is finalized. Her face goes white. You can't. I already did. Sign the consent form. Or forfeit all claims to alimony, property division, and spousal support. She stares at him, tears streaming down her face. You really think I'd lie about this? I don't know what you do anymore.
So yes.
Take the test. She signs. 2 weeks later. The envelope arrives by courier at 8:42 a.m. Maddox is in his penthouse, standing by the floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking Central Park. The city is waking up. Cars honking. People rushing to work. Life moving forward like nothing has changed. But everything has changed. Freya is with him. She flew in from Seattle yesterday. Hasn't left his side. She hands him the envelope. You sure you want to open this? I need to know. What if it's his? Then I deal with it. And if it's yours? He doesn't answer. Just tears open the envelope. Pulls out the paper. Reads. His eyes scan the document. Medical jargon. Probabilities. Percentages. And then at the bottom, in bold letters. Probability of paternity, 99.97%. Conclusion. Maddox Steele is the biological father. Silence. The kind of silence that presses down on your chest and makes it hard to breathe. Freya moves closer. What does it say? Maddox hands her the paper.
She reads.
Her eyes widen. It's yours. Yes. But Dane said. He lied. Maddox crumples the paper in his fist. His jaw clenches so hard his teeth ache. His eyes flash gold. He lied to break me. To make me doubt. To destroy me from the inside. Freya grabs his hand. Squeezes tight. What are you going to do? Maddox turns to face her. And the look in his eyes, cold, calculated, predatory, makes her shiver. I'm going to destroy him. Maddox. He took my wife. Corrupted her. Turned her against me. Used her as a weapon. He waited for my mother to die so I'd be vulnerable. He lied about my child to break me. He's been planning this for years, Freya. Years. I know, but he's not going to stop. Not until he takes everything. The company.
The pack.
Everything. So, what are you going to do? Maddox's eyes glow brighter. His wolf is right at the surface now. Ready. Hungry. I'm going to find him. I'm going to expose him. And then I'm going to end him. Freya doesn't argue. Doesn't try to talk him down. Because she knows. Some things can't be forgiven. Some betrayals run too deep. And Dane Corrigan? He crossed a line that can never be uncrossed. Chapter 6. Maddox doesn't sit in his penthouse and grieve. He doesn't drown himself in whiskey or lock himself away from the world.
He attacks.
Because that's what alphas do. They fight. They protect. They destroy anyone who threatens their pack. And Dane Corrigan? He's a threat that needs to be eliminated. Maddox activates every resource at his disposal. Isla Monroe works around the clock. Leonard Hastings pulls strings in legal circles. Maddox's beta, Knox Tiernan, a mountain of a man with loyalty carved into his bones, starts making calls to contacts across the country. Within 72 hours, they have answers. And what they find is worse than Maddox imagined. Dane has been building a rogue wolf pack in Seattle. Not just a handful of outcasts. Not just a few disgruntled wolves who couldn't cut it in legitimate packs. 30 wolves. All exiles. All criminals. All wolves with nothing to lose and everything to gain. Isla sends Maddox the files. Names. Photos.
Backgrounds.
He spreads them across the conference table in his office. Studies each face. Some he recognizes. Former members of packs that collapsed due to corruption or violence. Others are strangers. Drifters. Rogues who've been living on the fringes of wolf society for years. But they all have one thing in common. They're loyal to Dane. Knox stands beside Maddox, arms crossed, jaw tight. How the hell did he recruit this many? Money, Maddox says flatly.
Power.
Promises. Dane's always been good at selling dreams. Dreams built on lies. Doesn't matter. They believe him. And that makes them dangerous. Isla walks in, tablet in hand. I've got more. You're not going to like it. Tell me. She swipes the screen. Pulls up financial records. Dane's been funneling money through shell corporations for 3 years. Offshore accounts. Cryptocurrency. Real estate purchases in Seattle under fake names. He's been planning this for a long time, Maddox. How much money are we talking about? 43 million. Give or take. Knox whistles low. Where the hell did he get that kind of cash?
Theft. Fraud.
Embezzlement. Isla taps the screen again. He's been stealing from legitimate packs. Small amounts. Spread out over years, so no one noticed. Until now. Maddox's jaw clenches. What else? He's been targeting steel industries. Specifically your proprietary tech. The AI-driven real estate algorithms you've been developing. The predictive market software. If he gets his hands on that, he could sell it to your competitors for billions. He already tried. Through Fiona.
Right.
But she didn't deliver. So now he's planning something bigger. Like what? Isla hesitates. A hostile takeover. He's been buying up shares through intermediaries. Not enough to trigger SEC notifications, but enough to cause problems if he combines it with a challenge for alpha status. Maddox's eyes flash gold. He wants everything.
Yes.
Your company. Your pack. Your reputation. He wants to destroy you and take your place. Knox slams his fist on the table. Then we go to Seattle. We end this.
Now.
Not yet, Maddox says quietly. What do you mean, not yet? He's building an army, Maddox. The longer we wait, the more intel we gather, the more prepared we are. Maddox looks at Isla. I need to know his exact location, where he's keeping his pack, what his next move is. Everything. I'm working on it. Give me 48 hours. You have 24. She nods. Leaves. Knox shakes his head. You're playing it too safe. I'm playing it smart. Dane wants me to react emotionally. To charge in like a raging animal. That's when I make mistakes. That's when he wins. And what if he moves first? He won't. Not yet. He's waiting for something. I just need to figure out what. But Maddox doesn't know the full story.
Not yet.
Because while he's planning his counterattack, Freya is doing her own investigation. She's always been the quieter Steele sibling, less aggressive, more intuitive. Where Maddox sees strategy and power, Freya sees emotions and connections. And something about Fiona has been bothering her. The way she looked at Maddox during the funeral. The tears that seemed real. The pain in her eyes when he told her to leave. It doesn't add up. So Freya goes to the penthouse. The one Maddox and Fiona shared. The one Fiona was forced to vacate after signing the divorce papers. Security lets her in. She walks through the space. It's been mostly cleared out. Fiona took her clothes, her personal items, anything that was hers. But Freya knows how to look for things people leave behind. She checks the obvious places first.
Drawers. Closets.
Under the bed. Nothing. Then she checks the less obvious places. Behind picture frames. Inside book covers. Under loose floorboards. And that's when she finds it. A journal. Leather-bound.
Worn.
Hidden beneath a loose panel in the back of the walk-in closet. Freya sits on the floor. Opens it.
And starts reading.
The entries go back 2 years. The handwriting is shaky at first. Uncertain. Dane says this is the only way. That Maddox won't understand. That I have to do this for us. For our future. I don't know if I believe him. But I don't have a choice. Freya's stomach twists. She keeps reading. I met Maddox today. He's not what I expected. Dane said he'd be cold. Arrogant. Cruel. But he's not. He's kind. Thoughtful. He actually listened when I talked. I wasn't prepared for that. It's been 3 months. Maddox proposed. I said yes. I should feel victorious. This is what Dane wanted. But I feel guilty. Why do I feel guilty? 6 months married. Dane keeps pushing me to get access to the company files. But every time I try, I think about Maddox. The way he looks at me. The way he trusts me. I don't know if I can do this. Freya flips faster through the pages. Her heart pounding. I'm pregnant. I didn't tell Dane yet.
I don't know how.
This wasn't part of the plan. But when I saw those 2 lines on the test, I felt something I've never felt before.
Hope.
Real hope. This baby is Maddox's. And I want to keep it. I want to protect it. Even if it means losing everything. Dane found out about the pregnancy. He's furious. He wants me to tell Maddox it's his. To trap him. But I can't. I won't. This baby deserves better. Maddox deserves better. I thought I could do this. I thought I could betray him. But I can't. I love him. I actually love him. And this baby? It's the only good thing I've ever done. I have to protect it, even if it means losing Maddox forever. Freya closes the journal. Her hands trembling. She pulls out her phone. Calls Maddox. He answers on the first ring. What is it? You need to come to the penthouse.
Now.
Freya. I'm in the middle of.
Now, Maddox.
Trust me.
She hears him sigh. Fine.
I'll be there in 20 minutes. Maddox arrives exactly 20 minutes later. He walks in, still wearing his suit from the office.
He looks exhausted.
Dark circles under his eyes. Jaw tight. But his eyes are alert.
Sharp.
What's so important? Freya holds up the journal. I found this. Hidden in the closet. It's Fiona's. His face hardens. I don't want to read anything she. You need to read this. Freya. Please. Her voice cracks. Just please. He takes the journal. Sits on the couch. Opens it. And starts reading. Freya watches his face. Watches the emotions flicker across his features. Anger.
Confusion. Pain.
And then, something else. Understanding. He reads every page. Every word. Some entries make his jaw clench. Others make his hands shake. But he doesn't stop until he reaches the final entry. Dated 4 days before his mother died. Celeste knows. She confronted me yesterday. Showed me photos. Evidence. She said she'd tell Maddox everything. I begged her not to. Not because I'm afraid of losing the money or the lifestyle, but because I'm afraid of losing him. I know that sounds stupid. I know I don't deserve his love, but I can't help how I feel. I love him, and our baby deserves a father. A real father. Not Dane. Never Dane. So I made a choice. I told Celeste everything. The plan. Dane's pack. The money. Everything. She said she'd protect me if I helped her stop Dane. And I agreed. I was going to help her. But then she had the stroke. And now I don't know what to do. Maddox hates me. Dane is circling. And I'm scared. So scared. Not for me, but for this baby. Maddox closes the journal, sets it down on the coffee table, and for the first time since his mother's death,
He cries.
not loud, racking sobs, but quiet tears that stream down his face. His shoulders shake. His hands cover his eyes. Freya moves to sit beside him, wraps her arms around him, holds him while he breaks. She loved you, Freya whispers. She really loved you. I know, Maddox says, his voice thick. I know. What are you going to do? He wipes his eyes,
Takes a deep breath.
straightens. And when he looks at Freya, there's something different in his expression. Something softer, but also stronger. I'm going to protect her. And our baby. No matter what. Even after everything? Especially after everything.
He stands. Picks up the journal. She made mistakes.
Terrible mistakes. But she tried to fix them. She tried to do the right thing. And she's carrying my child. So what now? Maddox's eyes glow gold.
Now?
I finish what my mother started. I take down Dane. And I protect my family. Chapter 7. Seattle's Industrial District. 3 a.m. The warehouse sits at the edge of the waterfront. Abandoned for years. Rusted metal. Broken windows. Graffiti covering every surface. The smell of salt water and decay hangs in the air. This is where Dane Corrigan has built his empire of outcasts. Isla tracked him here. Surveillance footage. Thermal imaging. 30 heat signatures inside. All wolves. All waiting. Maddox stands outside the warehouse with Freya and Knox. The 3 of them dressed in black. Ready for war. Knox cracks his knuckles. 30 against 3. I've had worse odds. Freya's eyes glow amber. Her wolf is already at the surface. Let's end this. Maddox doesn't respond. His focus is singular. Absolute. He can feel Dane inside.
Can sense his energy.
His arrogance. His delusion that he's already won. But he hasn't. Not even close. Maddox shifts. The transformation is instant. Bones crack. Muscles stretch. Fur erupts across his skin. Within seconds, he's no longer a man in a tailored suit. He's a massive black wolf. Bigger than any natural wolf has a right to be. Eyes glowing molten gold. Teeth like daggers. Power radiating off him in waves that make the air itself feel heavy. This is alpha power. The kind that makes other wolves submit without a fight. Knox shifts next. A huge gray wolf with silver streaks. Battle-scarred. Loyal to the bone. Freya is smaller.
Sleek.
Auburn fur. But no less deadly. Maddox throws his head back and howls. The sound echoes through the industrial district. A challenge. A warning. A promise of violence. Inside the warehouse, everything goes silent. Then the doors burst open.
30 wolves pour out.
Some in human form. Some shifted. All of them bearing teeth. Claws extended. Eyes glowing with that feral hunger that comes from living outside pack law. Living without rules. Without honor. They form a semicircle around Maddox, Freya, and Knox. And then Dane appears. He walks through the crowd in human form, still wearing that arrogant smirk. still acting like this is all just a game. Maddox Steele. I was wondering when you'd show up. Maddox growls.
Low.
Threatening.
Come on now.
Let's be civilized about this. Dane spreads his arms. You're outnumbered. Outmatched. This doesn't have to end in bloodshed. Just walk away. Sign over the company. Step down as alpha. And we can all go our separate ways. Maddox's response is a snarl that makes 3 of the rogue wolves step back involuntarily. Dane sighs.
Fine.
Have it your way. He shifts. The transformation is fast but unimpressive. He becomes a lean wolf. Brown fur. Yellow eyes. Smaller than Maddox by a significant margin. But there's something in his movements, something quick and vicious, that makes him dangerous. The 2 wolves circle each other. The rogue pack watches. Freya and Nox stand ready, but they know better than to interfere. This is between alphas. This is primal law. Dane lunges first.
Fast.
Aiming for Maddox's throat. But Maddox is faster. He sidesteps.
Twists.
Catches Dane's shoulder between his jaws and bites down hard. The crunch of bone is audible. Dane yelps. Tears himself free. Blood drips from the wound. But he doesn't back down.
He circles a guy.
Chapter 8. 6 months later. Manhattan. The city looks different in the early morning light. Softer somehow. The sharp edges of the skyscrapers catch the sunrise, turning glass and steel into something almost beautiful. Almost forgiving. Maddox Steele stands at the floor-to-ceiling window of his office on the 53rd floor of Steel Industries headquarters. His hands are in his pockets. His suit is perfectly tailored. But there's something different about him now. Something in his posture. In his eyes. He looks lighter. Not healed. Not completely. Scars like the ones he carries don't just disappear. But lighter. The door to his office opens quietly. He doesn't turn around. Doesn't need to.
He knows that footstep.
That heartbeat. That scent. Fiona. She walks in slowly.
Carefully.
Like she's still not entirely sure she's allowed to be here. Like she's afraid one wrong move will shatter whatever fragile piece they've managed to build. She's wearing jeans and a soft sweater. Her hair is pulled back in a loose ponytail. No makeup. She looks tired. But there's something in her face now that wasn't there 6 months ago.
Peace.
Maybe. Or the beginning of it. She's awake, Fiona says softly. Maddox turns. And there she is. In Fiona's arms. Wrapped in a pale yellow blanket. Tiny fists. Eyes that shift between blue and gold, depending on the light.
His daughter.
Celeste Steele. Named after the woman who gave everything to protect her family. The woman who saw the truth when no one else did. The woman Maddox wishes could be here to hold her namesake. But she's not. And that reality still aches. Maddox crosses the office in 3 long strides. Takes the baby from Fiona's arms with a gentleness that would surprise anyone who's only seen him in boardrooms or pack councils. Hey, Celeste, he murmurs. His voice drops to that low, soft tone reserved only for her. Hey, baby girl. Did you have a good nap? The baby yawns. Tiny.
Perfect.
Completely unaware of the chaos that preceded her arrival. Unaware of the betrayal. The lies. The war her parents fought just to bring her into a world that wasn't tearing itself apart. Maddox holds her against his chest. One hand cradling her head, the other supporting her small body. His wolf, normally restless, always alert, goes completely still.
Calm.
Content. This is what matters. Not the empire. Not the pack politics. Not the boardroom deals. This. Fiona watches them. Her eyes well up with tears. She tries to blink away. She does that a lot now. Cries at small moments. Happy moments. Like she's still learning that it's okay to feel things without fear of punishment. She looks like you, Fiona says quietly. She has your nose.
No.
She has your stubbornness. Maddox smiles. A real smile.
Small.
But genuine. God help us all. Fiona steps closer. Wraps her arms around both of them. Rests her head against Maddox's shoulder. For a moment, they just stand there. The three of them. A family. Broken. But rebuilding. I'm sorry, Fiona whispers. For everything. It's not the first time she said it. Won't be the last. Maddox doesn't respond immediately. He shifts Celeste slightly. Looks down at Fiona. I know. Do you forgive me? That question. The one she's asked in 100 different ways over the past 6 months. Sometimes with words. Sometimes with her eyes. Sometimes in the way she hesitates before reaching for his hand. Maddox takes a breath. I'm trying. Every day. It's the most honest answer he can give. Because forgiveness isn't a switch. It's not something you decide once, and it's done forever. It's a choice you make every morning when you wake up. Every time you look at the person who hurt you and decide whether today is the day you let them back in a little further. Or whether today you need space. Some days, Maddox wakes up and the anger is right there. Fresh. Like the wound never closed. Other days, he wakes up and sees Fiona holding their daughter, singing softly, and he feels something that almost resembles peace. It's messy, imperfect, complicated, but it's real. Fiona nods. Her voice is thick. That's all I can ask. She knows she doesn't deserve easy forgiveness. Knows she'll spend years, maybe the rest of her life, earning back the trust she destroyed. But she's willing to do it. Not because she's afraid of losing the lifestyle. Not because she needs his money or his name. But because she loves him. Really loves him. The kind of love that makes you face the ugliest parts of yourself and fight to become better. They stand there in silence. The only sound is Celeste's soft breathing and the distant hum of the city waking up below. Maddox looks out the window. Manhattan stretches out before him. His empire. His territory. But it doesn't feel heavy anymore. Doesn't feel like something he has to fight for every second of every day. It just is. Freya called this morning, Fiona says after a while. She's coming by later. Wants to see Celeste. Good. She's been asking. She's been asking if we're okay. Maddox glances at her. What did you tell her? That we're trying. That's the truth. Fiona hesitates. Then asks the question that's been hanging between them for weeks. Do you think we'll ever get back to where we were? Before all of this. Maddox is quiet for a long moment. Then he shakes his head. No. Fiona's face falls. But maybe that's not a bad thing, he continues. Where we were before was built on a lie. You were pretending. I was oblivious. That version of us? It wasn't real. Then what is this? Maddox looks at her. Really looks at her. This is us starting over. Building something real. Something honest. It's messy. It's hard. But it's real. Fiona's eyes fill with tears again. But this time, she doesn't look away. I want that. More than anything. Then we keep going. One day at a time. She nods. Wipes her eyes. One day at a time. Celeste makes a small sound. A tiny coo that makes both of them smile. Maddox kisses the top of her head. You hear that, Celeste? Your parents are a mess. But we're your mess. And we're going to figure this out. Together. Fiona laughs softly. The sound is light. Genuine. It's been a long time since Maddox heard her laugh like that. Come on, she says. Freya's going to be here soon. And you know she'll give us hell if we're late. Let her. I'm the alpha. I make my own schedule. You're also her brother. Which means you're terrified of her. Maddox grins. Fair point. They walk toward the door together. Maddox carrying Celeste. Fiona's hand resting lightly on his arm. It's not perfect. It's not a fairy tale ending where everything is magically fixed. But it's a beginning. A real one. And sometimes that's all you need. Hope. The belief that broken things can be mended. That people can change. That love, real love, is worth fighting for, even when it's hard. Especially when it's hard. As they leave the office, Maddox looks back one more time at the city skyline. His empire is still standing. His pack is stronger than ever. And for the first time in 6 months, He feels like maybe, just maybe, everything is going to be okay. This story started with betrayal. It ends with hope. If you believe broken people can heal together, drop a comment telling me where you're watching from. And if you made it to the end without subscribing, honestly, I'm impressed. But also hit that button, because next week's story, it's even more intense. This is Gracie Werewolf Story Bank, and I'll see you in the next one.